So I just want to say shout out to everyone who's making Christmas gifts, whether that be knitting, crocheting, you're sewing something, and you're not stressing out about it. Cheers to you. You are the true MVPs. For me, I have big intentions in like May, and now it's December. Yeah, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Let's get into it. Take five. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Piece for Piece Crafting podcast. I'm Michael. You can find me on Instagram at Piece4PeaceCrafting and on Ravelry at Piece4PeaceCraft. To anyone who is coming back, welcome back. And to anyone who's watching for the first time, welcome. And I hope you enjoy all there is about me and my little crafting adventure. So, how's everyone doing? It's been 2 weeks since I last recorded. Today is Saturday, December 5th. It's kind of gray here in Chicago. It's cold-ish. Yeah, ish by Chicago standards. I mean, it's like in the 30s, so it's not too bad, but we're not like in it yet, which I'm not really looking forward to, but I know that it's coming, and I'm sort of at the point now where it's just like, let's get the ball rolling so we can get it over with. Uh, yeah. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. It's wild. I was thinking about that today. I was like, what's happened in the past 2 weeks? And I was like, oh my gosh, like Thanksgiving totally happened here in America, which is, it seems like that was so long ago, but it literally wasn't. So I hope everyone had a safe Thanksgiving. I personally had a Zoom call, probably like most people, with my family. We played Cahoots. If you've never played that, it's just like a little online thing where you can do quizzes and stuff, so everyone could be on their phone, answering the questions that pop up on the screen. I don't know. It was really cute. We had a good time with it. Yeah, and you know, 2020 Thanksgiving, so not being in large groups and around everyone, but still finding ways to get together and celebrate. So it's good. Other than that, a lot of working from home, a lot of trying to keep myself busy when I can, making things. I have some fun stuff to show today. But first, I want to do a holla back. So I got a couple tags from people, whether it be here on YouTube or over on my Instagram, just sending me like a private message saying that Corey from I Rock Knit, I believe is the name of the podcast, shouted me out on her last podcast, and I thought that was really sweet. So thanks, Corey, for shouting me out. Yeah, and I love it. Like if you, like I said before, like if you all find me via someone else, please let me know because I would like to give them some love back. Because it's always neat to hear like how people are navigating it. Also, shout out to the the um the YouTube algorithm. I had a lot of people reach out and say, "Oh, I just found you because like YouTube recommended this video to me." So that's really cool too. Hey y'all, welcome. Glad you could be here. Um, all right, so I wanted to start with one thing, but I think I'm going to start with something else. So let's talk about finished objects. And I'll start with what I'm wearing. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen this because I posted a finished object photo. So this is the finished Grace pullover by Denise Byron. I'll pull my sleeves down since I had them rolled up. It's a bulky weight sweater. I used Knit Picks Wool of the Andes bulky for this guy, and in the current colorway. I absolutely love it. I love this detail of the 3 cables going down the front, and I'd stand up, but honestly, like, I don't feel like it. But the cables go all the way from the collar all the way down through the front ribbing of the sweater. It was a really awesome knit. I haven't made a lot of bulky weight things, maybe a couple, especially garments. Like, I know I've made her Wave of Change jacket, which was bulky, and maybe like one other thing. But like, working with bulky yarn is awesome. It just works up so fast, as many of you probably already know. But since I hadn't worked with it a lot, it's been really cool to just be like, oh, okay, what I thought was going to take me a month was like 2 weeks of make time. Um, yeah, so like, I'm living for it. In my last video, I think I talked a little bit about it. I did these sleeves 2 at a time as well. Honestly, it's like my preferred way to do the sleeves, since I started making sweaters for myself this year. And yeah, it's just so nice when the project's done, it's done. And for this one, I know some people have sort of joked or written in the comments too, just about weaving in the ends. For this one, I tried my hardest to do it in a more timely fashion, mostly because I wanted to wear it for um, Thanksgiving. Did I wear it for Thanksgiving? Yes, I think so. Again, like, I can't believe Thanksgiving happens. So this is my first one. It's kind of a biggie. It's another sweater. It's kind of wild that just this goal of wanting to learn how to make sweaters this year has really taken off, and I'm kind of not obsessed, but I'm like really enjoying it. And I find myself, whenever I'm done with something, I'm looking for the next pattern that I can start working on, which I'm sure is like most of us. And also too, like, I don't know, I feel like it helps me not be in a rut about things, which is weird. Because like, I'll have this as like a big project, and then I always have something else that's a little bit smaller. So coming back to it, and I think the fact that it's bulky weight is like, oh, this isn't that bad. Um, I do have a goal of hopefully next year tackling. Ooh, even thinking about it is giving me slight anxiety. Tackling a fingering weight sweater. So I've done a DK, I've done a worsted, I've done a bulky, so I've done the bigger sizes, but I'm like, now you should probably go ahead and just try it. And there's so many out there that I think are really beautiful and that I'm really interested in making. Yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm still thinking about like what my goals for 2021 are going to be, just make wise. Yeah, and I think a fingering weight sweater might be on that list somewhere. Hopefully in the next episode I'll have that sort of more flushed out, and maybe we can talk about that. If you have goals that you are thinking about for 2021, let me know down below, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who we all have the same shared goals, and so why not, work on them together in the new year. Next up, let's see. So I was working on those Christmas stockings, right? Like, last time I showed just the completed of one stocking for my friend who has a new-ish family. She has a little son, and was not taking over, but I was working on a project that her nana had done for other members of her family. And since her nana's no longer with us, she asked me if I would help in creating and making a stocking that resembled the one that her grandma had made her for her son and her husband. Obviously, I said yes because I love things like that. And so I showed the snow, or I talked about the snowman, but I showed the completed sock. And so now the whole thing is done. It's very jingly as I drop it. I added, for the little hook, let me see if I can get these not stuck in here. I added little bells to the end of it because I thought that'd be fun. So I talked about this last time. I'd made the snowman on its own, and I'm kind of digging it. Uh, Gives it a little bit of texture. It's not like flush with the actual stocking. Um, yeah, and it's super cute. And since it's for a little one, he's, I don't know, 1 or 2. I don't know. It like makes it a little more fun. There's a little bit of angora in here with the whites, so it has a little soft, fun texture to it. And then on the front, uh, I actually, and people said this in the comments too, which was so helpful. And maybe I misspoke last time, but I duplicate stitched over the fronts of the stocking for the little candy canes. This one looks a little janky, but they're both the same. uh, on the front, and then did a duplicate stitch for the top as well to write his name on the top of it. So that was one. And oddly enough, I was like, oh, the duplicate stitch isn't going to take me long. It's literally just like going over the top of like the work I've already done. And it actually, maybe it's because it's my first time doing it too, it took longer than I thought it would. But like, it's fine. It was fun to like see the pattern actually happen like as I was working it up. So then the second one, yeah, I hadn't even started this one. So the second one is the one for her husband, and it has a little Christmas tree on it with, let me hold these, with even more bells, because who doesn't want that in their life? And the same thing on the front. Candy canes went on the front. I love this one. This actually, I think this one took obviously longer because as I was doing the duplicate stitch, I went through and I tried to map out. So her grandma had a chart that she'd written out for both the tree and the snowman, and so I went off of that chart that she'd made, and then my friend gave me these bells, and she's like, "Oh, if you can incorporate them some way, that'd be really cool. But if you can't, like, no worries at all." And so when I was thinking about doing the Christmas tree, I was like, "Oh, maybe just put one at the top for the star." Um, and then I was like, "I think we can do a little bit more than that. Like, just think about it a little bit." So I went through and I not did the math, but like I figured out where to place a bunch of them so there would be rows going up the Christmas tree just so that I could incorporate more. So like some rows of 3, some rows of 4, and I love the way it turned out. It's really cute. I'm super excited to give it to her cuz it's been a while since she asked for them, and obviously 2020 happens and everyone's been stuck at home and not doing things. So I'm happy that it's now December. They're complete, and yeah, I can get these to her. I'm super excited about it. Fingers crossed she'll love them. I know she will. So that was a really fun project that ate up a lot of time actually. From completing this and then working on those, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm not getting much done. But oddly enough, those were kind of two big-ish projects. I mean, the tree on that stockings definitely took a while. I mean, it probably took me a couple days in the evenings just working on it, and only that. But I think the result is really awesome in the end, so it was well worth it. Last week, I also showed. So my other friend, a dear friend of mine, she gave me this. What was it? I have the tag here. It's this baby alpaca and bamboo viscose yarn, and I said that I was going to pair it with some leftover murky depths mohair that I had to make a cable hat for her. Also, shout out to the person who said it's pronounced chalet, not chalet. You guys, I'm blaming it on having 2020 brain or COVID brain, whatever you want to call it. Words, what are they? So yeah, thank you for that. And like even reading it back, I was like, oh, did I say that? Because like, right, who knows? Right. Disaster. So it's this chalet colorway mixed with the murky depths. I have a little bit left over. I didn't weigh it, but I do think that there's enough for me just to make her a little headband, which she didn't ask for, but I thought it'd be cool just to use up the yarn because there's not much left, but I think there'll be enough to finish that. So what I did do for her was I do have one in to weave in, but I'm gonna do that before actually I take that to her today. Just the tail of it because I want to put a little label on it. So I went on to Yarn Inspiration and I was just looking for a bulky weight hat on there. And so I'm gonna look at my notes. I found this, it's called the Bernat Softy Chunky hat. And this is what it turned out to look like. I think it's so flippin' cute. So it's just a nice little cable. I can't remember what these kinds of cables are called. Horseshoe, maybe? Cable hat. And I love the little flecks of orange and gray that you can see from the mohair in it. It really just gives like the chalet color a little bit something else. I put it on, but her head is a little bit smaller than mine, and I don't want to stretch it out. It is super soft because of the alpaca and the mohair. And I was like, I finished it, and I was thinking like, low key, I kind of want to keep this for myself because it's so nice. And actually, I love the color. It's super neutral from afar. I mean, you can kind of see the orange in it and the gray. Yeah, but then up close, it's just like, it's so cool. I loved the cables. This was pretty quick. So like after working on those stockings, which took a couple days to complete, I was like, okay, I need something quick, just quick to do. And I knew that I wanted to get this hat to her sooner rather than later. And so I found the pattern and I guess I hadn't made a hat in a while, but yeah, in like 2 nights, just like sitting. I did most of it one night and then just finished with the crown decreases and stuff the second night. And I was just like, oh, right, like hats take no time at all. And again, doing it with the bulky weight, it was even faster. I know some people are probably like, oh, you should put a pom-pom on it. I don't really know if my friend's a pom-pom person. So I left it without. And I figured if she wanted to add something on it on her own, then she can. She's a crafter too, so she crochets. Yeah, so like if she wants to add a pom-pom, she knows how to like, actually I think she has pom-pom makers. She can just make one or buy one, like a nice little faux fur one. I think it would look really boss on the top of it. So that is third. I'm gonna say fourth, because really it was 2 stockings, this sweater, and this. So this was my 4th-ish FO of the week, which is kind of crazy, or 2 weeks, which is kind of crazy. So that same friend who I made the hat for, she last year, was it last year? Or the beginning of this year. So like maybe January? I don't remember. I'd made, so rewind, slow down. Think about what you're saying. So last year, for myself, I'd made The Snuggle is Real Cow by Maxim Sear. The same friend who I made this hat for loved it. She was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's so cold here. Like, can you make me one of these? I said, absolutely. So of course, we went through, we looked at yarn. If you follow me either here or on Instagram, you know I'm obsessed with Murky Depths. I just love her colors. So I sent her over to Debbie's shop and was like, hey, look and see what colors you like. Get at me. I'll order them. Or she ordered them, gave me the yarn, knit it up for her. So I completed it, did it, whatever. She loves it, but there was a little snag in the bottom of it, and so I also do repairs for people. Not really, but she was like, "Oh, something happened to the inside of it. Like, do you think you can fix it?" And I was like, "Yes." I'm not going to show you the repair because it doesn't even matter, but I will show you this. I'm going to rest my hand here. So this was The Snuggle is Real that I made for her. I don't remember the colors that I used because this was a while ago, but if you go on Ravelry. I think I have it posted there. Or if you follow me on Instagram, I for sure put the information in the bottom. And the inside, I can't, is lined with this beautiful, like, softy blue color. I think the name of this one is called Ozone, but I could really be wrong. Um, yeah, I loved this. This is such a fun pattern, and um, I'm actually going to be making a couple more, which I had to talk about in a second. So this is for her. So I fixed that, made her a hat. Super excited to pass those off to her, hopefully today, once I'm done recording this. Because it is getting a little bit colder here, so it's not really time for that yet, but it's getting close. I guarantee in the next 2 weeks it's going to be freezing here. Cheers. 1 second. So those were kind of all the things that I finished. Yeah, in the past 2 weeks, which I guess is kind of a lot. The only thing that I've worked on other than those things, so like my current whip right now, is obviously in another beautiful sister bag. This one is denim. I have a little Black Boy Joy pin on here. This little denim bag is great. Also obsessed with with beautiful sister. I think their bags are really lovely. So another friend of mine, actually, I showed something on a previous episode. I don't remember which one. There's been so many. I made a pair of on the porch socks for her. So she recently, right at the very start of sort of stay at home, people working from home, she adopted a puppy. And she asked if I would make her a stocking for the dog. And I like, again, I couldn't say no. I was just like, yeah, totally. Like, let me know what colors, let me know what you want. So I got started and worked on that a little bit. So here's the start of it. They're on DPNs. I'm not using a pattern, I'm just sort of making it up, kind of taking it off of the other stocking that I was doing and just going along with however long I feel. It's a dog. The dog doesn't care. Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna make it however long I want. It's not gonna be very big because it's gonna be tiny. So she wanted gray and green. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of red in there just because I'm using just some Vanish Choice that I had in my stash, just some leftovers. I think this is Kelly Green. And the gray on top, and I held that together with, there was a little bit of the Angora left over from the other stockings. And so I just added that to make a little cuff for the top of it. So it does roll down, and then I'll add the rest of the leg, and I'll probably do gray heels and toes for this guy, and then do a duplicate stitch on this as well. The dog's name is Mabel, adorable, and just put a little M on this one for her. Right, so I'm hoping to get this done pretty soon. I mean, it is December, and for those who observe Christmas, like, it's happening. Even if you don't, like, putting up a stocking is just cute. It's fun. So I want to get this to her. I was going to say by the end of the week, but literally it's the weekend. But the end of next week, fingers crossed, hopefully I can get this off and to her, yeah, soon enough. It shouldn't be too bad getting that done. So possibly make a headband for my friend. Hopefully get that stocking done. Yeah, things are just on the move, on the move, on the move. I do have another whip that I'm working on, excuse me. I can't show it right now because it's a test knit for someone, but I will be showing it for sure, question mark, on the next episode because I think I'll be allowed to by then. But I do want to share with you the yarn that I'm using for the project. So again, it's a bulky weight something, and I got some yarn from Knit Picks, and this is also, well, not also, it is bulky weight, but it's their Wonder Fluff, and I've never used this before, but it is, hold up, let me find the little thing. It's 70% baby alpaca, 23% nylon, 7% merino, And this is in the Kale Heather colorway. And it is so good. I was a little bit nervous at first. Just like when I got it, I was like, whoa, this seems like it's gonna be super fluffy, which like that's fine. But I'd never worked with anything like it before. And y'all, I'm obsessed. It's like whatever it is where they like blow the fibers into like the nylon cording or whatever, or mesh cords or whatever. Um, but the heathering on it is really beautiful, and I'm living for this. So if you haven't tried the Knit Picks Wonder Fluff, I would definitely say like if you have a bulky something that you want to make, and yeah, you want it to be nice and fluffy and squishy, it is hella soft. Like every time I pick it up, I'm just like, this is so bomb. Like, what is happening? Yeah, what is happening? So I'm absolutely in love with this. I'm super excited to show you all what that project is in the next episode. And I mentioned too that I was going to be making another Snuggle is Real. So my cousin, um, I usually tell my family, like, if you all want me to make you something, like, you have to let me know sooner rather than later, like, as gifts for them to give. And so my cousin did what followed the directions and got back to me and said, oh, I have a friend and I'd really love for you. I saw that Snuggle is Real that you made, and I really like it, and I was wondering if you could make something for her in these colors. Absolutely, sure. You got to me within the right time frame. So in that same Knit Picks order, I got some of their I think it's Copra. It's their DK, and it's the Eclipse Heather and the Moonstone Heather. And this one, y'all, is 85-15, so 80 merino and 15 cashmere. And so the names respectively. So this top guy is the Eclipse Heather, and this bottom one is the Moonstone. So just a nice chill gray color palette. And then the inside is going to be the Aloft, and it's the Carbon colorway. So she said that her friend wanted some, or wears things that are pretty neutral, pretty chill. So she was like, grays or neutral tones, nothing else. Like, I don't know what her coat situation is. I don't know if she like wants a pop of color. Um, yeah, and so I thought this would be like a safe bet. I think it's going to be really beautiful. I'm super excited to make that pattern again. It'll be my third time doing it. And sometimes I think that's really good too, right? Like if you find a pattern that you like, or maybe this is just me, like, yeah, I love making things over again. I feel like most of the time, the first time through is like you're going into it slightly blind, even though you may have read through the pattern. But like once you go through and you have a better understanding of it, then like, yeah, the second, third, fourth, etc. time through is like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like, let's just plow through this, get it done. Not get it done, but like you can get it done because you have a better understanding of it, and I love that. Looking around, looking around. What else do I have to share? Okay, so question. Actually, I'll say what I have to say first, and then I'll ask my question. So I check every now and then, just cause, on YouTube to see how many subscribers I have. Why not? I didn't set out to like, oh yeah, I'm going to get all the subscribers, blah 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 blah. I just wanted to do it. I thought it'd be fun. Do the podcast. I thought it'd be fun. Um, share what I'm making with people. Maybe you all will enjoy it. Apparently, people do, which is really awesome. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh, it'd be so cool, like, if I at some point get to 500 subscribers. One, that would be really dope. And two, like, maybe I'll think about doing some sort of giveaway, because I enjoy watching other podcasts, and seeing the stuff that they're giving away is always really cool to me. And I'm always like, oh, that's really nice. I never really enter for things like that, but I do think that it's awesome to see what people are going to be sharing, things that people send in to give out. It's really great. So, a couple weeks ago, Lisa and Maria from Two Sheeps reached out to me and asked if I would like to see one of the calendars that they have. So if you haven't heard of them, Two Sheeps is this calendar that the two of them have put together. It's really dope. I love what the company stands for. Like, you can go on their website and read their mission statement. Quality, we're all about it. But the dope thing, maybe you've seen this on other podcasts too, but if you haven't, one of the dope things about the calendar is each month has a different independent dyer from Canada or North America, or yeah, Canada or the States. Words again, and some of the colors for the yarn are absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't know if you're like me. I'm very much what's the Erykah Badu line? Analog girl in a digital world. So, like, yes, technology, love it. I have a calendar on my phone. I have a calendar on my desktop. We use technology all the time, right? But there's something about like having an actual calendar that I still find like really awesome. So I'm in love with this. I was like, yes, I don't have a calendar for next year. This is really dope. This is really awesome. So another great thing about this calendar and the yarn that's in here, there's every month has a different dyer, right? And then every month through their website, they will be selling, I do believe it's the first of the month, they'll be selling that colorway. There's a limited supply or whatever. They'll be selling that colorway through their website. Another bomb thing. Like, okay, so you want me to have this calendar? You want me to just like be looking at fun yarn, which is great, like jotting down things that I need to be doing. I'm very visual, so like even if it's just hanging up and I can see it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like that's got to get done soon. Versus like having to go into my phone, look at it. Anyway, whatever. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so the fact that like first of the month, the yarn that is that corresponds with that month is going to be on sale in their shop. Is really awesome. So thank you to Two Sheeps. I think this is really cute. It's absolutely adorable. Go over to Instagram, give them a follow. They're at two dot sheeps. Check them out. So in doing so, they also sent over, which gagged, 2 more calendars for you all. And I thought that that was so sweet. So rewind time. Giveaway. I want to do a giveaway. I saw that I'd passed, which is bananas, BANANAS, 500 subscribers, which is totally awesome. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed. You're here for this content. And so I wanted to do a giveaway for that because I think that that's huge. That's cool. And I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to decide how to go about doing that. Just from listening to other podcasters, I hear that sometimes people leaving a comment or saying like they would like to enter is a little bit rough and like getting back and hearing back from them. They're like, I reached out to you, it's been 2 weeks, like what's going on? Do you want this or not? And so, yeah, I'm wondering, so now let me know in the comments. I'm wondering if just doing it over on Instagram might be easier. Yeah, doing it over on Instagram might be easier. Or in addition to, I don't have a Ravelry group for this podcast, which I wouldn't mind starting if that's something that people are into. I don't really know. I like go to a few podcasters Ravelry groups just to see like what's going on over there, or like look at the show notes if I need to, if it's not in the description bar below. Yeah, so like, is that, I know like Ravelry is not accessible to everyone, but if people, for those who can use it or who are on the platform, if you all are interested in me starting a Ravelry group for this podcast, let me know. Otherwise, I think Instagram for me is like, it might be the way to go. yeah, it's really easy to get in contact with people. You literally just send them a message, they will get back to you. Or that, at least that's been that's been my experience and other things that I've done over on Instagram. So let me know, and then maybe by the next episode of this, yeah, let's do that. By the next episode of this, I'll read comments. I'll like put the feelers out over on Instagram to see what people are thinking, and I'll put something together. I maybe want to get a skein of yarn just to send out with it because I think that would be cute. And in 2 weeks, it'll be closer to like all of the winter holidays sort of happening. And it might be fun just to get like a nice little random package in the mail. For right now, yeah, I'm scratching what I said in my head before I could even say it out loud. Right, so 2 people at some point when I figure out how to do this giveaway will be getting one of these lovely calendars just in time for 2020. Yeah, I'm super, super, super excited about that. So again, thank you to Lisa and Maria over at Two Sheeps. I think it's great. Can't even. I feel like I do this a lot because I have to look around to see there's stuff scattered about me. What didn't you talk about? What didn't you get to? I think that might be about it. Lastly, everyone, for people who are leaving comments and sharing music recommendations back, or just like getting back to me on the music recommendations that I've sort of been doing here at the end of the podcast, y'all are the best. I'm happy that people are at least going out, maybe either hearing new music that they hadn't heard before or revisiting music that they remember, like when they were younger, when they were kids or whatever. And that's sort of my goal. Like, I grew up in a household where there was always music playing. And so I think that that's just stuck with me. Even like when I went on to dance, like I always had headphones on, getting ready for shows and stuff. Now I constantly have music on if I'm not, listening to an audio podcast or watching something. I just like, I have to have music filling the space that I'm in. So there's been a couple people who have said, "Oh, have you checked out so and so?" I love that. I have checked them out. Everything's great. I think sharing of music is one of those things that's just like, I don't know. Music can be personal, but also it's like it's a community driven thing, right? Like it brings people together. It makes you want to move. It makes you want to cry, feel sad. Um, yeah, so that's been really awesome to see other people being like, "Oh, I love your recommendation. You should check this out. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming." So this week, I wanted to share something a little bit different. So my music collection, again, like I listen to kind of everything. Not kind of, I do listen to everything. And so today I want to recommend this group, Sylvan Esso. They are a music group, obviously. This is their 2014 album. I believe is just self-titled, Sylvan Esso. And this was their first album. They have 4 albums out, so 3 normal, 1 is a live album. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is this is their first album. It's self-titled, Sylvan Esso. It's Amelia and what's the guy's name? Nate, maybe? I'm gonna go with Nate for right now. The music is very much she has a very folky voice, if that makes sense. But the music is very much like fun dance music. Not like uns dance music, but just like, I don't know. If you are ever just like wanting to move around in wherever you are and you just need some feel good music on, like this is some stuff that I go to a lot. So like Sylvan Esso, their first album, I mean I love all of them. Their first album is the one that I'm recommending now. Some hot tracks. Coffee is amazing. Hey Mommy, which is the opening track, is so good. And then there's another song, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, which, come on, little kids, rhyme. Yeah, so those are some ones that I'll sort of recommend off the bat. But this is an album for me that I listened start to finish. It's really great. They recently, maybe within the past year, came out with, they did a live album. And I believe that it's still up on YouTube. They also had a concert that went along with it. And it's really great. It was a pared down show of like one of their albums or whatever. So yes, it still has that like dancey feel, but they brought in other friends of theirs and they made it seem like more of a folky show with some great dance music in it. It's kind of hard to explain. I love music that is not like this is pop, this is whatever. So this is another one of those that I feel like it's dance music, but it's also just like folky music. I don't know. Give it a listen. Tell me what you think. Can you categorize it in some way? Because clearly I'm struggling with figuring out what that is. Anyway, so Sylvan Esso, first album. Go and check it out. And I think that's it, you all. Yeah, I think that's it. So thanks again for coming and hanging out with me. If you have made it this far, I think 40 minutes is sort of my cap for myself, or what it ends up being. If you made it this far, you enjoyed the content, feel free to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, tell a friend, get them to subscribe, and comment down below about if you'd be into joining a Ravelry group. Maybe I'll do more giveaways in the future. Who really knows, honestly. Yeah, sharing some fun things, maybe a make along. Who knows what's going to happen in 2021. So yeah, that's all up for grabs. And with that, you all, thanks again for watching. Until next time, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.